Hey everybody. Thought I'd do a little check-in. It's been a while since I have um, been on really. We have been getting snow and rain and for the last few days off and on, swaps kind of back and forth. And then on top of it, we have been getting freezing temperatures at night. So the property is interesting trying to drive in and out of there. Um, so far the Tahoe has been doing all right. Not gotten stuck. Uh, the Avalanche, well, the Avalanche is just a beast, and it's a little bit of a slide though for the Tahoe coming down this morning. The Tahoe went down sideways down the hill because it's quite an incline. The road we have to go down to get out of our driveway. Well, when we get out of our driveway, it's a hill as soon as you come out of the driveway. But I know a while ago I said that I would discuss what our take on adding animals to a homestead or to a mini farm or a large farm. If you're kind of new to it, a lot of people say chickens and this and that first. But take it back even a little bit more, because I honestly believe that cats are great. They help to keep the mice down, um, the smaller rodents like that. They really help to keep all that down so that your vegetable garden, your pantry, and stuff like that's not getting um, taken advantage of. And then dogs. Dogs are the next ones because they help with the bigger animals, securing the property. Dogs are really good at that, honestly. Our dogs actually killed a cougar because it got too close to the house. And we had a grizzly a few months ago come through, and the dogs busted out while we were gone. They busted out. They were marking everything by the time I raced up there. One of our friends sent a picture and said, "Hey, this was up that went through your property. This is just below your house. It's swimming in a pond," and sent me a picture. And so we had a grizzly um, that went through the property, and the dogs busted out. And um, it was weird when I pulled up. I only saw 3 dogs, and I thought the worst. What they do take off after it get hurt or something. Am I gonna have to scour my property, everybody else's properties, trying to find the dogs and carry them back home and stuff? But no, our dogs had an ambush set up. Really, there were 3 dogs, like I said, running around marking the property everywhere, and then the rest of them I couldn't find them, and so I just kind of, and which was weird because when I whistle or I holler for them, they come running. And they were hidden. They hid their bushes, kind of moved a little bit all around the whole property, and kind of where I was at, and I look up and everything, and I'm just staring real hard at the bushes, and I realized the dogs were in the bushes all around the cabin, and they were laying and waiting. And then there were a couple dogs underneath the cabin, and you could barely see their noses. Barely see their noses. And they were waiting for something to come back, whether it be that bear or another animal. They were waiting. Since they have killed that cougar, they have become a very strong pack. That almost like reinsured their bond, I guess you could say. Um, So they take off together in a pack. They come back usually in a pack. Some of the parents, on the other hand, they kind of wander on their own every so often. Um, but they also definitely can handle their own 100. But so as far as the animals to start out with on your properties and stuff, like I said, cats, dogs, those are your first ones. Those dogs, once they learn that that's theirs and you walk the perimeter with them and let them mark that perimeter, and you do that a few times with them until they know what's theirs, then you don't have to worry. They know nothing but them are supposed to be there. They get that scent out there, so nothing else really wants to come in a whole lot. People say that dogs are no match for bears. Physically, that's definitely true. Bears, though, do hate the sound of barking. They hate that. And when you got 11 of them barking and lunging at you, that's the ingredients to turn tail and run. After that, I definitely would say chickens. Chickens have been some of the easiest things that we have had on our property so far. Our next thing is ducks. We're going to put some ducks in with the chickens and let them mingle for a while and get to know each other. But we have 3 roosters. Between all our roosters and our hens, we have 24, 25. And so, and they all live together. We have 6 different breeds. And all our roosters are different breeds than any of our hens. Our roosters are meat birds. Our hens most of them are egg layers, or they're dual purpose. So, and the reason I did that is just because of the fact that we really felt like if something ever happened and we had to butcher our chickens, that we didn't want skinny little chickens that we'd have to kill one for each person to get a full meal out of. Plus, we wanted to make sure we have the eggs. Now, I kid you not, during the summer, we had more eggs than what we knew what to do with. We started giving them away. And I don't mean a dozen here, a dozen there, or whatever. I was giving bowls, big mixing bowls of eggs away to friends and family members because we could not keep up with them. We were hard boiling them. We were feeding them to the dogs after they're hard boiled. We were eating them ourselves. We just couldn't keep up with it. Now that the temperatures have dropped, the days are shorter, we are doing about, I want to say probably anywhere from 3 to 8 eggs a week. Very manageable for us. So that's kind of where I would start and where we did start. Now, we have discussed on after the ducks, what are we going to get? Turkeys would be nice, but are turkeys going to give enough eggs? Or are we solely going to be raising turkeys for meat? Would it be worth it for us? So that's one question we've had that we've been kind of pondering and doing a little bit of reading and everything else on. The other things that we have talked about are feeder pigs. Feeder pigs, now, that is something that really could come in handy. Um, Having our own meat and knowing what's in it, knowing what's not in it. Um, so that's one thing we're thinking about. We're also thinking possibly about getting um, 3 pigs, one, and having 2 to breed and having 1 boar, and um, breeding them on um, opposite of each other pretty much, so that there's almost always piglets there that we are raising for meat. Another one that we have discussed are maybe like a miniature Jersey cow for milk, because my significant other goes through a gallon a day. Me, not so much. But we have several friends and family members that would love to have fresh milk. So that's kind of where we're at. And so pretty much that's what I think we're going to do. Um, I'm leaning more towards the pigs right now. Uh, but that's a discussion we're still going to have to keep having. Because it's not a decision that I can make on my own. I'm not a one-man team. This is a two-man team pretty much. So um, it's a decision that needs to be addressed from all of us. Well, both of us. I guess the dogs kind of have a say so too, because um, if there's animals that they're not doing so well with, we're not going to keep those animals. We won't get them again, because our dogs are pretty much like our kids. You know, just like if there's one of our friends that comes around and they don't like them and it continues on, that friend doesn't come around anymore. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where we're at with everything so far. The ducks are the next thing, and then pigs are cows. Really leaning towards the pigs though after the ducks. Turkeys are still a if, but we're getting there. We're actually going to be moving the road that goes through our property that the neighbors have an easement on. That will actually be being moved here. This work on starting to move it this summer. Spring and summer, we are getting bulldozers and everything else out there. That's the plan, and moving it to the edge of the property so they're no longer going through our property, and then we don't have issues with them anymore. And then we have been advised since we do live on the reservation, the property is just on the reservation, we have been advised by the tribe and also by the county assessor's office to get a lawyer and have a road agreement put in that they need to help to maintain it. They need to pay us to keep it maintained, because if that's what they're wanting from us to keep it maintained, then they need to help out with it since they are driving on it. And the assessor's office, they gave us quite a few recommendations as far as what to factor into all that when coming up with that road agreement, which was very helpful and very much appreciated. So, yeah, that's where we're at. So, like and subscribe, and the more likes and subscribes that I get, or that we get, the more that we both will actually be posting, and kind of keeping you guys going along with what's happening. And we are also trying to find the video of when our cabin was being delivered. in some of the pictures from when we were doing the groundwork prior to it arriving. So look for those also.